Welcome everybody. I Can by Rubey, and I just want to welcome any new people that are checking out or stopping by for the first time. Many blessings, and to all my returning viewers, thank you. So let's get to the topic at hand. Today I wrote down some bulletins, and when I do this, that means we're seriously gonna get into something today. So prior to this video and topic is basically gonna be about manifestations. Do they work? I questioned myself this many times when I first started and to try to get into this practice of manifesting my desires or what I wanted to come out. And manifesting your desires is actually going to be linked. I did a video prior a while back, and I'm going to leave a link at the end of this video to that. You could check that out. And there's also another one, your thoughts. So let's not waste any time. Ooh, I like this, manifesting. It's a pretty cool thing when you zone in and get yourself together and get rid of all that extra baggage and whatever skeletons you have, throw them out or whatever. Get rid of that closet of them and start anew and fresh and let that light shine from within out forth. Because I know you could do it. It's just a matter of you believing in yourself and knowing that you can do it. So, manifestations, do they work? I'm here to tell you, yes, they do. For me, what it is, you have to really key in, do your homework research on this manifestations and how to do it. You have to try a lot of different methods. That's what I did, and see what worked, what didn't work. Sometimes you may take snippets. I Came by Rubey, what I always say, right? Those little snippets from wherever, and make something that specifically works for you. And by doing that, you might start something else. You might be able to pass on something that somebody will say, hey, that actually worked for me. Start a new method. Why not, right? That's what we're all here for, to pass on knowledge, wisdom, and help and uplift each other spiritually, mentally, and physically. It'll come because once you're in line with yourself, your body will start working, all your organs, everything, your mind, get it clear, free of clutter. And you won't believe how this whole thing, and that spirit that you hold within you, or whatever you believe, how well we work and interact with each other. So, number one, we're going to do a total of 4 bulletins I want to hit: settings, goals, and sticking to them. I wrote that down because that's a tough one. You got to set these goals and stick to them. That does not mean that, I'll tell you from my own personal experience, you sway off them, you forget about them, don't even remember what you set. But later on, I'm going to give you a little clue right now what to do, or what I do. It's crazy how people say always make a list, write stuff down, or do it. Get a notebook, make a list, write things down that you want to accomplish. And then set a goal, however long, or if not, just leave it and keep that notebook and don't lose it. If you know you're going to lose it, then keep it somewhere where you know it'll always be safe. With a family member, friend, say, hey, hold on to this or whatever. Or if you don't, and that's something really personal, then you need to hold on to it, put it away, and check back. Why I did this video today, I'm going to explain something to you. It blew my mind because what happened was, when I set out on all this goal, and sometimes I said it in prior other videos, it's been an ongoing process, and I've been now going into this field for almost 14, 15 years. Actually starting to get to change within myself about 10 or 12, and then the rest adding on research, learning, actually being in the field, and listen, whatever I profess or say out here and being teaching spiritual wisdom knowledge, I'm actually in it. It's just like I'm living it, breathing it, and trying to give out what worked for me and what didn't to you. And also as a life coach or whatever, that this all intertwines. You don't even have to think about it, and it'll get you into that alignment. So now back to this manifestations, and do they work? So like I said, get that notebook and write within it. Write everything. And what happened to me, we're going to step back. I looked at this notebook that I had. And when I looked at the dates, I couldn't believe it. Because let me tell you something. Having patience is, one of the biggest things in this. And I had to learn that. That was a tough one. When I looked at the date, it was 2013. So you do the math from 2013 to now, 2022, and now we're about to go into 2023. Look how long that was. But when I went into it, I hit so many. There's a couple that I didn't hit, but the ones that I did, and I looked at that notebook, I said, I'm going to sign this with, that I Can by Rubey logo back there and put the date on it. Because who knows when I'll visit that back again and see what else did I do and add more to it and keep going. So that's just to show you that, you know what, even though I was going through all these trials and tribulations, and then when I was trying to manifest what I really wanted, even though I was not on it, or lost track a little bit, just because I put total focus into it. Maybe it wasn't at that moment. The world and everything on that other side was working. It was already in motion for me. All I had to do was just keep on track, keep this focus, keep my heart, and not let my emotions take over my heart, my thoughts, and make me do anything irrational. Always stay focused, and always take the high road and be the better person. It's very hard because sometimes, I'm telling you, your ego is going to get in the way. And if your ego gets in the way, it's going to kick your own self in the butt. So you don't want to do that. So now to the manifestations. There was always something that was said beforehand, like you had to believe it, picture it, see it, and know it. I used to use that, and sometimes it did work, sometimes it didn't. Now I'm going to give you a clue of what works for me right now, and what it is acting like it already has happened. So, like, it's already done, it happened, and then later when you get spiritually in tune, and whatever methods you want to use to open this mind and get in tune with that ether of the world, that internet connection, all that info, and however you do it, and once you do, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about at this point, is that you need to open yourself up and then act like it has already happened. Totally different. And a lot of other people I notice now are teaching this as well. It's almost like it's switched. And if you do see that in someone, I'm telling you, life is like that. You can, and I went, oh, this is another thing I want to bring back. When I went back in this notebook, this blew my mind. I'm sorry to get off track here, but this is something I made sure, I'm so happy I didn't forget. I went back and there was so many things that I saw that was like kind of like misinformation, but there was so much good stuff and I had forgotten it, but it brought back. But what I did do is, at that time, this ties in perfect what I was just about to say, you're constantly going to be changing your wisdom, your knowledge, times. Don't think that it was wrong. No, it wasn't wrong at that time. You just omit that and you say, hey, okay, that was a different way of thinking, but now I got through that, and you were able to clear out and distinctively see what was truth and what was not truth. And that goes with, as more and more time goes on, you'll be able to distinguish that, because you'll build up that inner, whatever you want to call it, that consciousness that guides you throughout your life, that inner voice. So now back to that. So tough lessons from your life. You're going to have a lot of them. Tough lessons. You're going to go through trial and tribulations. And that's why bulletin number 2 tells you to gain knowledge and wisdom from these trials and tribulations and tough lessons. You want to learn from them. You think they're tough. Why am I going through this? Why is this happening? It is because you need to sometimes, even if it's excluding some circumstances I know, or very maybe traumatic or experiences, but for this example, we're talking about the tough lessons and gaining knowledge and wisdom, and knowing that sometimes you're put through these trials and tribulations to make yourself gain that wisdom, knowledge, for me, spiritual shield, get that strength up, and know next time when anything comes even near that, I am so prepared that I stop and see it coming from, miles and miles away. Don't repeat your mistakes and move on. This is very important, and that'll see how everything starts tying into it. The tough lessons, gain knowledge, gain wisdom. Don't repeat your mistakes and move on. Because if you keep doing that, you're not gonna keep raising those higher level of consciousness if you want to spiritually, and get into those higher vibrational frequencies, because you are holding on to the past things, like I said, traumatic experiences. You have to let all that go, and it's got to be gone, and not even a memory. Remember, you create your own reality. Last but not least, there is no such thing as time. You make your time. You create it. The matter of time is a scientific topic for the ages. You can break this down into so many things. What is time? What is time to you? What is time to me? Is there anything? Is there a past, present, or future? Or are we just living within the moment of a grand consciousness where we're all interconnected? Ask yourself these questions. So imagine if you were able to get in tune with yourself. Do you think you would be able to manipulate time? Never know. So listen, I came by Rubey, and I want to close this out with many blessings. And this was a great video. And thank you for just listening. Take care.